Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're diving into the world of preserved flower gifts.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. You know those stunning arrangements that you see, and they just seem to defy time.
Right.
They stay vibrant for years instead of days.
Yeah, it's amazing how they do that.
I know. You shared an article with us from industry expert Annie Zhang,
Okay.
CEO of Sweetie Gifts, and plus a list of upcoming trade shows that she put together for 2025.
Wow.
So think of us as your guides sifting through all this information to uncover those key takeaways for you.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
And it is an exciting space to explore.
Mhm.
Preserved flowers are just this fascinating blend of nature, artistry, and, of course, business savvy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, we've got a real treat with Annie Zhang's insights.
Oh, how so?
Well, not only does she have like 20 years of experience in the industry,
Wow. Well,
but she's constantly on the move.
really?
Yeah, traveling between the U.S. and European markets, connecting with customers worldwide. She even gets hands-on in the Chinese supply chain.
That's impressive.
Okay.
That kind of global perspective is just invaluable in a market like this.
For sure.
You're not just getting a snapshot, you're getting a panoramic view of the entire industry.
It's like having a backstage pass
Wow.
to the world of preserved flowers.
I like that.
Yeah. And speaking of getting up close and personal, Annie also provided a list of must-attend trade shows for 2025,
Okay.
which really highlights just how much this market is buzzing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We're talking Los Angeles, Dallas, Atlanta, even Shenzhen, China.
Oh, wow. That's a wide range.
Yeah.
What's fascinating here is that this list isn't just about showcasing the geographical reach of the industry,
Right.
but it also gives us clues about specific trends and opportunities within each region.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Break it down for me. What are we looking at?
Well, let's take a look.
Okay. So
Okay.
first up, we've got LA Mart running from March 18th to the 21st. It's all about those West Coast vibes and getting a sense of what's hot and happening in the world of preserved flower gifts.
Right.
And Annie actually mentioned noticing a shift towards minimalist bouquets at last year's LA Mart, indicating a growing preference for sleek, modern designs.
That's a great example of how attending these shows can give you a real pulse on evolving consumer tastes.
Right.
It's not just about seeing pretty flowers, it's about understanding the stories behind those trends.
Right. It's like a window into what customers are actually looking for.
Exactly.
Then we have a really interesting combo happening in Dallas from March 25th to the 28th.
Good.
The apparel and accessories market is running alongside the total home and gift market.
Interesting. That combination is particularly telling.
Oh.
It suggests that preserved flower gifts are breaking free from traditional bouquets and venturing into the realms of fashion accessories and home decor. We're talking preserved flower earrings, necklaces, even wall art. The possibilities are endless.
That's so cool. It makes you realize that this market is so much more diverse than you might initially think.
Absolutely.
And then for the heavy hitters in the floral industry, there's Floriexpo, taking place from June 4th to the 6th.
Okay.
Not only is it a massive event,
Yeah.
but it even boasts a dedicated pavilion specifically for preserved flowers.
Now, that's a pretty strong indication that this sector is gaining serious traction within the larger floral world.
I think so.
It's not just a niche anymore, it's becoming a mainstream force.
Absolutely. And for a glimpse into the Chinese market, there's CIGP in Shenzhen happening in late October.
Okay.
It's like stepping into a whole different world of possibilities, particularly when it comes to sourcing.
I bet.
And remember, Annie's experience in the Chinese supply chain gives her a unique edge.
And what's interesting here is that China is a major producer of preserved flowers.
Right.
So attending CIGP could open doors to a wider range of suppliers,
Yeah.
potentially with more competitive pricing.
It's like having a direct line to the source. So if you're looking to expand your network, find unique materials, or even just get a sense of the global landscape, this show is definitely worth considering.
I agree.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, I want to loop back to something you mentioned earlier
Oh, okay.
about the regional nuances of this market.
Absolutely, yeah.
One of the most fascinating things Annie pointed out is the difference in preferences between Japanese and U.S. customers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, while Japanese customers gravitate towards delicate, pastel-colored arrangements,
Okay.
U.S. customers tend to prefer bolder, brighter bouquets.
That's interesting. It's like those fashion trends you mentioned earlier.
Right.
What's a hit in Paris might not fly in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize that success in this industry isn't just about creating beautiful arrangements.
Right.
It's about understanding the cultural nuances that shape those preferences.
It's about connecting with your target audience on a deeper level, respecting their traditions and aesthetic sensibilities. And that's something you can really explore firsthand at these international trade shows.
For sure.
So attending a trade show isn't just about buying and selling.
Right.
It's about immersing yourself in the culture of preserved flowers, observing trends, and even challenging your own assumptions about what works and what doesn't.
It's about expanding your horizons and letting those experiences inform your own creative vision.
So imagine yourself walking through these shows, taking it all in.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there to buy, to sell, or just to be inspired?
That's a great question to consider because understanding your own goals will help you navigate these events more strategically.
Exactly, because as Annie points out in her article, attending these shows is more than just an outing.
Right.
It's an opportunity to connect with industry leaders,
Mm-hmm.
learn from the best, and ultimately shape your own future in this vibrant market.
And speaking of shaping your future, I think it's time we delve a bit deeper into the why behind attending these events. It goes way beyond simply making a sale. So Annie highlights a few key benefits that really resonate with me, and they might with you too.
Okay,
First, there's the networking aspect.
right?
Think about it. You could be rubbing shoulders with industry veterans, up-and-coming designers,
Yeah.
maybe even Annie Zhang herself.
That's what I love about these events. It's like a giant mixer.
Right.
For flower enthusiasts and entrepreneurs
Mm-hmm.
and everyone in between. You
Yeah.
just never know who you'll meet or what kind of connections you'll make.
And those connections can be invaluable.
For sure.
Whether it's finding a new supplier, collaborating on a project, or just getting advice from someone who's been there and done that.
It's all about building those relationships and tapping into the collective wisdom of the industry.
Absolutely.
But networking isn't the only perk.
Right.
Annie also emphasizes the importance of market visibility.
Yeah.
Trade shows give you a platform to showcase your brand, your products, and your unique style.
It's a chance to stand out from the crowd, grab the attention of potential buyers, and really make a statement about who you are as a business.
And that visibility can lead to some pretty amazing opportunities.
I bet.
We're talking collaborations, media coverage, even landing a coveted spot in a high-end boutique.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Of course, you can't talk about trade shows without mentioning trend awareness.
right.
It's like a crash course is what's hot, what's not,
Yeah,
and what's on the horizon for the preserved flower market.
it's like getting a sneak peek into the future of floral design.
Exactly.
You'll see those emerging trends firsthand, and you can use that knowledge to stay ahead of the curve and position your business for success.
And speaking of success,
Yeah.
Annie points out that trade shows are also prime spots for lead generation.
Okay.
You're not just showcasing your products, you're also connecting with potential customers, gathering contact information,
Yeah.
building those all-important relationships that can lead to sales down the line.
It's like planting seeds for future growth.
Exactly.
And finally, there's the educational aspect.
Yeah.
Trade shows aren't just about booths and displays.
Right.
They're also about knowledge sharing. Many of them offer seminars, workshops, and demonstrations led by experts in the field.
Imagine learning new preservation techniques, discovering innovative design trends, or getting tips on running a successful floral business.
Yeah.
It's like a masterclass in all things preserved flowers.
And what's interesting here is that Annie really stresses that incorporating these shows into your overall strategy can be a game changer.
I see.
This isn't just a random list. It's a potential roadmap for success.
It's like she's handing you a compass and saying, here's how to navigate this exciting and evolving market. But navigating the market also involves understanding its technical side,
Right.
which your original request also mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, we're not diving deep into botany here.
Right.
It's worth noting that creating these everlasting beauties is a true art form.
Yeah, it's not just about drying flowers. There's a whole process involved in preserving them, ensuring they retain their color, shape, and texture for years to come.
And one of the challenges that Annie has highlighted in her work is the sourcing of high-quality, ethically produced flowers.
Right.
With the demand for preserved flowers on the rise, it's more important than ever to ensure sustainable practices throughout the supply chain.
That's something to keep in mind as you explore this market. Understanding the origins of your materials and supporting ethical producers is essential.
Absolutely. But let's not forget that for many people, the first introduction to preserved flowers is through those classic, long-lasting roses.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever wondered how they achieve that almost magical longevity?
I'll admit, I am curious.
Yeah.
What's the secret behind their ability to stay fresh for years on end?
Well, it's all thanks to a fascinating process where the natural moisture in the flower is replaced with a special non-toxic solution.
Okay.
This solution essentially freezes the flower in time, allowing it to retain its beauty without wilting or fading.
So it's not just about drying them out, it's about replacing their internal fluids with something that keeps them looking their best.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It really is.
It makes you realize that there's a lot more science and artistry behind these preserved flowers than meets the eye.
Exactly. It's a beautiful blend of nature and innovation.
Okay, so we've talked about the why of attending trade shows.
Right.
We've touched on the technical aspects.
Yeah.
We've even gotten a glimpse into how those iconic preserved roses are made.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm ready to get back to those specific trade shows.
Me too.
Let's pick up where we left off.
Okay.
We were about to dive deeper into LA Mart, weren't we?
Yes. It's a fantastic opportunity to tap into those West Coast trends, especially if you're looking to get a sense of what's hot and happening in the world of preserved flower gifts.
Right.
And remember, it takes place in March, early in the year, which is perfect for observing those early trends and maybe even adjusting your strategies for the rest of the year.
It's like getting a head start on the competition. And if you're looking to explore how preserved flowers are branching out beyond traditional bouquets,
Right.
then that duo in Dallas, the apparel and accessories market alongside the total home and gift market, should be on your radar.
That's a great idea.
I'm so fascinated by this crossover. Just imagine you could be showcasing your preserved flower earrings next to a designer handbag
Oh, wow.
or a stunning piece of wall art.
It's a chance to tap into a wider audience and introduce those buyers to the versatility and beauty of preserved flowers.
And then, of course, there's Floriexpo in June.
Yeah,
It's the Super Bowl of the floral industry.
it is.
And having a dedicated pavilion for preserved flowers is a testament to their growing influence in this sector.
While Annie's insights are undeniably valuable,
Right.
I think it's also important to remember that the market is constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Newer players are emerging, and fresh perspectives are always shaping the landscape.
That's true.
Floriexpo is a great place to encounter those new ideas and see how the industry is evolving as a whole.
That's a great point. It's not just about learning from the established players. It's about embracing the dynamism of the market and seeing where those new voices are taking it.
Exactly.
And speaking of global perspectives,
Yeah.
let's not forget about CIGP in Shenzhen, China.
Right.
This is your window into a massive and dynamic market, particularly when it comes to sourcing.
It's a chance to connect with suppliers who might offer unique materials, competitive pricing,
Right.
and maybe even insights into those cultural nuances we were discussing earlier.
Imagine strolling through the aisles of CIGP, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of preserved flowers, and striking up a conversation with a local artisan.
Oh, that would be great.
You could learn so much about traditional Chinese preservation techniques or discover a new type of flower you've never even seen before.
It's like taking a crash course in a whole different culture of floral design.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And those experiences can be incredibly enriching, both personally and professionally.
Absolutely.
So as you can see, this list of trade shows curated by Annie Zhang isn't just a list, it's a strategic tool. It's a way to map out your year, prioritize your goals, and ultimately grow your presence in this exciting world of preserved flower gifts.
It's about understanding the global dynamics of the market, connecting with key players,
Right.
and using that knowledge to inform your own unique vision.
But attending a trade show is just the first step. It's what you do with that experience that truly matters. What stands out to you the most as we've been discussing these events?
For me, it's the potential for cross-cultural exchange.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine attending CIGP in Shenzhen and having the opportunity to talk to Chinese buyers, suppliers, and designers.
Yeah.
You could gain firsthand insights into what's driving the preserved flower market in that part of the world.
It's like taking a master class in cross-cultural business and design all rolled into one.
And those insights can be invaluable as you think about expanding your own reach and connecting with a global audience.
Yeah.
What happens in one region can have a ripple effect across the globe. A new trend emerging in Europe could quickly influence consumer preferences in the US or Asia.
It's all interconnected. It's like this constant exchange of ideas, inspiration, and innovation, and that's what makes this industry so dynamic and exciting.
Speaking of exciting, I think it's time we circle back to Annie Zhang and her company, Sweetie Gifts.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
She's not just an expert in flowers, she's also a successful CEO,
Right.
which brings a whole other layer of insight to the table.
Right. She's walking the walk and talking the talk and building a thriving business in the process.
Exactly. And that kind of real-world experience is priceless.
It is.
And one thing that really struck me about Annie's approach is her emphasis on continuous learning and adaptation.
Okay.
This isn't an industry where you can just set things on autopilot and coast.
Absolutely. Trends are always changing, consumer preferences are shifting, and new technologies are emerging.
Right.
It's all about staying curious, staying informed, and being willing to embrace change.
Hmm.
And that's where those trade shows come into play again.
Exactly. They're not just about buying and selling.
Right.
They're about expanding your horizons, challenging your assumptions,
Mm.
and discovering new ways to grow your business.
Sort of like a shot of adrenaline for your creative spirit.
I love that.
But even with all this knowledge, all these insights,
Yeah.
there's still one crucial element that can't be taught.
And what's that?
Your own unique vision.
That's where the real magic happens. It's
Yeah.
about taking all this information, all these experiences, and filtering them through your own creativity, your own passion,
Mhm.
your own understanding of what makes a preserved flower gift truly special.
It's about finding your niche, your style, your voice in this vibrant and ever-evolving market.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of preserved flower gifts, I want to leave you with this thought. What's your story?
Oh, I like that.
What unique perspective can you bring to this industry? What kind of beauty will you create that will make people stop and say, wow, I've never seen anything like that before?
That's the exciting part.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
They are.
You could specialize in creating stunning botanical jewelry, design breathtaking installations for events, or even develop a new preservation technique that pushes the boundaries of what's possible.
Wow.
The world of preserved flower gifts is waiting for you to make your mark.
And with the knowledge you've gained today, you're well equipped to take those next steps.
For sure.
Whether it's attending a trade show, researching new techniques, or simply brainstorming ideas.
Mhm.
Remember that the most important ingredient is your own passion and creativity.
So go out there, explore, experiment, and let your imagination bloom.
Yes.
The world of preserved flower gifts is yours to discover.